Hey everybody, this is Dark Side of Lee here, and I want to do a video because of the whole Batwoman controversy. I wanted to do some little more add-ons and kind of peel back my disdain of the whole episode. The second episode added more to it. I did watch a little bit of it, but I just couldn't get through it because it was so bad. There's a lot they need to fix. There's a lot they need to fix. They don't into my personal opinion, they don't know what to do with this character. They believe that because of the patriarchy system and the fact that they ran into that same type of problem with Supergirl because everyone was wondering where's Superman at? Where's Superman at? Where's Superman at? Where's Superman? Now by crapping all over Batman, they feel that by making Batman feel like in a bad light, people are going to be like, okay, well, we don't want him then. Let's just move on with Batwoman. No, you actually stirred more pots. You actually made people go, is this how you really want to do this character? Now, people could put a difference between TV and a movie, but a character is a character. And one of the main reasons why people wanted to watch Batwoman is because the possibility of basically seeing Batman. Or if you write a story, like I stated before, you do the whole story around Nightfall. And that Nightfall happened. It happened during season 3 of Arrow and during the second season of Flash. If you remember what happened in third season was pretty much during Ra's al Ghul. So you're wondering what the heck was going on during that. Okay. Now people could say, well, Ray should have mentioned Batman. Why would he? Why would he? He was doing his own thing. I mean, that it would make sense. Um, I think that they should have been doing during season. Actually, forget that. Scrap that. They could have did Nightfall during the second season of Arrow and the first season of the Flash. That would have made sense. Barry's not going to know who. I mean, Barry, you're not going to hear anything about Batman. What happened in Nightfall or Gotham City during Arrow because Deathstroke was in town, and you had all this stuff going on after the earthquake. You had these weird occurrences going on in Central City. No one's really talking much about what's going on in Gotham, or they're talking about the after the earthquake that happened in Starling City. So there's a lot of things you could easily attribute that didn't get out of Gotham City. You could also even put in that Gordon or the mayor was keeping everything quiet. They didn't want it to get out that Gotham City was lost because that means that basically all these villains are out and about. The crime rate's going to go through the roof, and that means that the president is going to have to bring in martial law and institute the National Guard. So it's like, no, we don't want that. You had the whole thing of Batman, the whole Batman Rises, I mean, Dark Knight Rises happen. So they're like, no, let's try to prevent that. Let's keep it consolidated. We'll keep everything quiet. So you could institute that. Gordon did something very, very bad, and that's why he's not commissioner because he had to quit after the Nightfall incident because he basically made a police state during Nightfall, and that got him fired. They had to fire him. And the mayor had to basically resign because there was a lot of things that he did during the Nightfall incident. So there's a lot of things you could do that kept things quiet in Gotham, and people didn't know what was going on outside of Gotham, except the fact that it's now being told. So you can state that Ra's al Ghul came in there during the all those years ago, and like I said, this is season 2 of Arrow and season 1 of the Flash, and he came in and completely let all those villains out. And Batman was like, "What the heck is going on?" He doesn't know what's going on. He thinks he's wondering why is Ra's al Ghul doing this? And Ra's al Ghul is doing it because he wants to prove a point to the detective that it's his way or the highway. And if you're not going to join him, then you are his enemy and he's going to kill you. So you have a whole night of Batman going through all of his villains, a night of horror, and towards the when everything starts, the curtain call, that's when Batman disappears, and you have this huge battle between Ra's and Bruce, and Ra's defeats him. Ra's jacks him up. He severs his spine. So basically, Bruce is paralyzed. You could have it like that. That would make a lot of sense. Or he stabbed him so well in the so well in the chest, it actually messed up. It messed up a portion of his heart. He can't get it fixed. It will permanently be there, and he cannot be Batman. It's something that he was trying to do. He couldn't do it. The only way he could do it is unless he got into the Lazarus pit, and that's why Raish did it. Raish wanted him to survive, so he will always have a permanent reminder that he can never be Batman ever again. You can write it however you wish, but you got to write a way to make sure that Batman went through a huge crucible, and then he was taken off the board, and that's when he kept up what's going on with Raish, and he heard that Raish got defeated by Oliver Queen. He heard about Oliver Queen. He wanted to get Oliver Queen in the midst. He wanted to start helping him. That was the whole thing. He was going to reach out by the end of season 2 because of what happened in Starling City, but he had that night of horror. That's how you could have easily done this. The whole second season was all about Deathstroke. He heard about Deathstroke. He wanted nothing to do with Deathstroke. You could write all this stuff to really start filling in the gaps about why Batman walked away and why he permanently walks away. He can never be Batman again. He can't. You can write it however you wish. A broken back. You could wear a heart condition he developed, or something that nicked his heart to the point where basically it's inoperable. You cannot fix it. The only way it can be fixed is either with magic, and Bruce doesn't want nothing to do with magic, or the Lazarus Pit, and he definitely doesn't want nothing to do with it. So there's a lot you can easily write in there to really show that Batman is not going to be a part of anything. So um, the next thing that I wanted to talk about was with Kate, and you can easily put in there that Kate Kane, her character is, she's a rebel. That's fine. She's a lesbian. That's fine. Everything is fine. She doesn't have a beef with Bruce. She actually, in a way, she likes her cousin Bruce. She doesn't know him very well. They haven't hung out since they were kids, and that was during the time when his parents were still alive. So you could write that she hasn't seen her cousin in years. She knows that after his parents died, he became very, very off-putting and very, very sheltered. And not sheltered in a bad way, but more of it's like he became a recluse. And then he disappears. And he's gone for like 10 plus years. And all of a sudden, he comes back and he's different. And she never really reached out because she was in the military at the time. But when she got kicked out of the military and all this other stuff you've been writing in there, she decides she wants to go back home. She goes back home, and there's no Batman, and her cousin is gone. She finally hears about her cousin being gone, and that's what forces her to come back because she's in the middle of some training that's on the eastern side of the planet. And when she hears that her cousin is gone, she starts to come back. So she comes back, and she starts to figure out what the heck is going on, and there's no Batman, and her cousin is dead. Her cousin is quote unquote dead, and so is Alfred Pennyworth. They're gone. No one found them. Um, you can easily do a lot of stories there. Now there's an introduction of Alice, and Alice is gonna destroy the city. She's destroying the city because it's easy pickings. She wants to be this new criminal kingpin in the city, and she doesn't want to be subverted into that. She doesn't want to be subverted into being like any of those other costume freaks. She doesn't want to be attributed to being like the Mad Hatter or the Joker or Penguin or Two-Face or any one of his rogues. She wants to be her own villain. She wants to be her own kingpin. And that's her whole thing. She doesn't want to be a part of this whole thing. But you find out that that is her sister. That's Kate's sister. And she knows that Batman's Bruce Wayne. She knows it. She's known it for years. But she doesn't care because after the whole Nightfall incident, she basically believes that everything is now coming together. She now can start doing her thing. You can write her as a Hush character, like a Hush type of character. She's in the shadows doing all the things, and she's picking at Kate because she knows that Kate's mentally a weak-minded person. So you can write all that stuff. There's a lot of ways you can write it, but to crap all over Batman, to crap all over whatever everything he's ever done for DC Comics in itself it's stupid. You don't need to do that. And anybody who defends it and goes, well, I say no, that is the worst level of defense you can ever give. That's like okaying a wife beater. Okay, to subjugate a person to a weaker state to make yourself feel stronger is the worst thing you can ever do. That's the No, you don't need to do that. Now, if you're not but to write Kate as she has little beef with Bruce, she just misses her cousin. She actually misses her cousin. Her cousin and her father's side of the family are very very intellectual people, and they're very stoic. So they know how to keep their mind, keep their a level head. You could easily do that. The only beef that she has throughout the whole series is the fact that everyone thinks that she can't do it because she's a woman. They also look down on her a little bit because she's a lesbian, but not so much. But it's more the fact is they look down on her because she basically flagrants the rules. There's rules in place because of things, and you basically are kind of giving the middle finger to it. So sorry, so she basically is there that's trying to do her own thing, but she's breaking the rules. And you have Luke there that's keeping her on task, and also her dad, she thought she has a beef with her dad, but her dad tells her, no, no, I don't have a beef with you, babe. I don't. You are my last child. I don't want to lose my kid. You got kicked out of the military. Okay, that's a whatever. Okay, not military's not made for everybody, but that doesn't mean that I love you any less. So those are the type of writing you can do. It's very sloppy. It's very heart tendered. It's drama paced, but at least it fits in line with what the heck you're trying to accomplish with these characters. They don't need to. Sorry, they don't need to write that she has this massive angst for no apparent reason. Her father has no beef with her. He has a beef with the fact that she keeps putting herself in danger and thinks that she could just blunt force her way through everything. She's no. And on top of that, her training is nowhere near Bruce's. It's nowhere near Bruce's. And you still have little things where it's she's getting information that Bruce has done way more training than just what she thinks. She thinks that her military training is more than enough, and no, he's done a lot of training and a lot of understanding about what to do to become this type of person, and she's now starting to understand that. And you can have it in the Flash, or like how they do the Flash, or in a combination of the Flash and Arrow, with some backstory, with some backflashes, and also some understanding that we're getting Bruce, but it's just him in the middles of his training, and she's getting the understanding of it, and that's where you get it to. And then she gets the understanding of who was the guy behind the whole thing, and it was Ra's al Ghul. Okay, she wants to take down Ra's al Ghul. Well, Ra's al Ghul's dead. And she meets up with Thea, and he goes, "You're Ra's al Ghul? Wait a minute, you're hella young. How the hell were you the one that defeated Batman?" She goes, "That wasn't me. That was probably my father." And then Nissa comes and goes, "No, that was never her father. That was my father. My father's the one that took down Batman." And they're like, "What?" And she reveals it, that yeah, this is what happened that night. And my father basically did something to him, and however they do that writing, that's how they do it. And then Kate's in there going, "Oh, so he's not dead." They go, "No, he's not dead. But I think he's wishing that he was." Or however you want to do it. And that's where I feel that a lot of people will have better understanding of, okay, we will never get Batman on this show because this is the reason why they did it. But it's fine. It makes sense. It's the reasonings why. And it gives more credence to even Kate to actually now live up to a new mantle, because she's been trying to live up under the shadow of the bat, but now it's the fact that he can never be Batman. She's always thought that, okay, maybe he'll heal himself up and he'll come back. No, he can't be Batman anymore. What Ra's al Ghul did to him, it permanently messed him up. He can never be Batman ever again. And that's how you do it. Now you can always dangle that carrot that we can meet Bruce Wayne, and that could be something they do later down the seasons. That'd be fine. But he can't be Batman. He can't be Batman. It'll be fine. But the way they're doing it now, they're just crapping all over Batman. They're crapping all over his legacy. And people are okay with that. And I go, okay, you're not a Batman fan. You're not a Batman fan. Okay? People can say, however, that Zack Snyder did his movies. That's fine. But to me, that's how you should do Superman. or that's how you should do superheroes in general. I want to feel the person behind the mask. And that's why DC, in my personal opinion, has better stories than Marvel, because it's gods being people instead of people being gods. It's Iron Man trying to be this technological god. It's Captain America being the larger than life sentinel god, sentinel of American of American idealism. So it's all those type of things. So that's why I'm going. That's why DC to me is a lot better when it comes to their stories, because people want to be related to these characters. They don't want to be entertained. They want to be entertained, mind you, but they want to have some type of relevance to these characters so they can understand how they feel in their shoes. Most times Marvel doesn't do that. That's why Spider-Man, the X-Men, and some other characters, but not most of the Avengers, but those other obscure characters